Good morning or good afternoon, and welcome to your lesson in Inventor on creating a drawing. Up to this point, we've been making some parts. So we have the part from 2-1, we have our part from 1-1. Now we're going to show you how to make a mechanical drawing of this. So again, go ahead and launch Inventor till you see your home screen right here. If you're already in Inventor because you've just finished a part, then return to your home screen by clicking the home button up here. Okay, we're going to start this a little different than a part. We don't have a template for this. We're going to click on New. We're going to have our menu pop up here. And you should have two drawings here. You have this DWG file and the IDW file. We want to click and create on this. And it's going to give you a sheet like this. Now, one of the things you'll see here is this is a size D paper. And we have several sizes of paper, A, B, C, D. Also see those as A1, 2, 3, 4, very similar, or even just in your inches view, starting with 8.5 inches and then everything doubles. So 8.5 doubles to 17, and the 11 doubles to the 22, and then that doubles to 22 by 44, and so on, and each time it doubles. So in other words, you can start with the biggest sheet, cut it in half, get the next size sheet. Cut that in half, get the next smaller sheet. Cut that in half, get the next smaller sheet. So we want to start with a C size drawing. So we're in the ANSI inches IDW file. Come up here to where it says sheet number 1. We want to go ahead and right click on that. And then we want to go to edit sheet. In edit sheet, we want to choose size C. We want to make sure it's landscape, so it's across this way. If we have a more upright part, we might want to go with portrait, which would look more upright like this. But landscape and title block down the bottom should already be there because of our application settings we put in. Click OK. So now you can see this is C size paper. Then you have your landscape. We want to choose our base. So go up here, and this is where we're going to take our part and put it on the paper. So all the work you took into creating your part now makes it very easy to do a drawing. When we're doing this by hand, it's the other way around. It takes forever to do the drawing. And then if you have to make revisions to it, that can take forever. With this, we put a lot of time into creating the part or assembly, the presentation, and then making the drawing is super easy, and then making any changes on it. If I go back and change the part, it will change the drawing. So let me go ahead and click on Base View. You're going to have this menu pop up. You've got a couple options here we'll explore later. We want to go to this button right here, Open an Existing File. Left click that, and it's going to go, hopefully, to your desktop folder. If it doesn't go to your desktop folder, click on it, and you go to Desktop, and then go in here and get your folder. I'm keeping mine in my Inventor files. Now mine was already here, and then I want to pick the correct file. If you don't like the list view of this, you can come over here. And you go to, this is details, lists, small icons, medium icons, large icons. The small icons is basically the same thing, medium icons. Now you get into, and they'll give you a little thumbnail of these. So I kind of like the medium icons because you can drag this out to make it a little bit bigger if you want. It kind of shows me the part I'm looking at as well as the name. So I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to double click, or you can click select. So what that's done is it's put this view here. You can see it all in green out. It's my object. And then see as I drag this up, I get that dashed line. So I'm going to place that. And I'm going to place my side view. And I'm going to place my isometric over here. Click. And those are all left clicks. Then I'm going to right click. And then enter OK. So now these are my 4 views I placed. I got a front, top, side, and isometric. Now I've created those. I get just towards the edge. You can see that red box up here and my little grab handle. So I'm going to drag this down here. And you can see how the front and the side views are linked to this, but the isometric's kind of on its own. So I've got this right here. Now this is just too small. So we're going to make this a little bit bigger. So go down here where the red box is highlighted again, and then right click. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my scale. If you go down the bottom here, you'll see my scale is 1 to 2, which means it's a half scale. I'm going to go to Edit View. And now I got a dialog box, and this is my friend right here. So my scale right here, I'm going to change that to 1 to 1. Now, see, that fits really well. If I wanted to, I could go bigger or smaller. I could go to 1/4. I could go 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5, 10 to 1, depending on what you got. But 1 to 1 works really good for what we're doing here. We like our line view. Shows our hidden lines. We get to have hidden lines removed. We do not want that in this case. There are cases where you might want that. And then shaded view. And we don't want that, but we're going to put that on our isometric here in just a minute. So one of the things we could do is we could change our label here to view 1, view 2, whatever. We'll do that manually. I'll show you how to do that here in a second. So I'm going to click OK. I got my views placed. One of the things we did when we were setting our templates up is we clicked for our entire application that we would import these dimensions on here. Now, before I start talking about those, I'm going to go over here to my isometric. Same thing, you see the red box. Move, if you're here, you see the red box, but nothing else. Get down here where you have the grab handle, right click, edit view. Okay, I also want that 1 to 1, generally the same size as the regular drawing, but not always. And then I want to put the shaded on here because I want that to appear in a shaded view. Okay, so I click OK. And again, you notice that does not have dimensions. We try not to dimension our isometrics. Sometimes we'll throw something on there, but we try not to do that too often. All right, let's talk about dimensioning. So we've got our drawings, we've got our 4 views, and we want to look at our dimensions here. Most of them are going to be on our front view. That's the one that shows the most information. Couple things we want to do is move some of these around, clean them up so they're parallel to each other. So this one and this one are pretty good. This one I got to move. So I've got this green tab here. I've got the number here. So let's see what happens when I click on the number and drag it. So all I can do is move it left, right. I can't move it up, down. And I want to move it up in line with these. So I'm going to grab this green handle right here. And it's going to put it right in line with those. Okay. Click off. Come down here to the 9. I got a drag handle on that. And it's going to allow me to move it here. And I want to move it to the top. Okay. I've got that right here. If you want to center, you can see that center line going through there. Our 4 is okay. I'm going to move it in just a little bit. And again, it's centered. So those macro dimensions of the entire object, nice to have those in the center. These are all in line. These are on the object, so these are fine. These aren't too far off, so I'm going to leave those where they're at. They're pretty much in line. I'm going to move this in a little bit, so it's, again, like I said, more in line with this. Again, if you notice when I start moving that, see how it's centered on there? So it gives me a center line for that. Same thing here. I can click on this. See how it gives me a center line? And I have it centered on that. So that's a nice option for cleaning up your dimensions. This one here is a little off. So see how it gives me a center line right through there? And then I'm going to bring it all the way in the picture. There we go. So that's real nice. And as long as they're close, I'm pretty good. But again, if you're detailed about this, it's really going to help you make a nice looking drawing, very easy to read. And that's the whole point of a drawing, is to help you communicate what you're doing here. All right, so we're good there. Let me zoom out a little bit. So one of the things I'm noticing here is I've got all my pertinent dimensions here. So anything that's here would be here and would be here. So I know this is 2 inches. So from this hidden line to this hidden line is 2 inches. You know, from this hidden line to this hidden line is my 1 inch here. So I've got everything pertinent except for the thickness of my plate. So I don't have that. So I want to get this thickness. So we're going to go to annotate. And this is where you can actually do dimensions directly on your drawing. We've imported them so you don't have to do all of them. But the stuff that you extrude and cut oftentimes is not dimensioned. So we want to go ahead and hit dimension over here. Click on this line, and pull that right there, and you got your 0.25. So now I've got my thickness. If I want to, I can change how many dimensions, how many decimals are being shown, format, but everything here is good. I can also change the size of my text if I wanted to, or add text to it, but I'm good where I'm at, so I'm going to click OK. So I have everything dimensioned that I want. I'm going to put in view, so go up here to text. Okay. And I'm going to go down here and draw a text box, pretty much in the center of this thing, so right underneath the 9. Okay. I let go of that. It's going to pop this menu box up. I want to click a couple of things. So first of all, I want it centered. That's going to center it left to right, top to bottom. I want to change this before I start typing to 0.240. Make sure caps lock is on. You want all caps, T-O-P. Anytime we letter in drafting and mechanical design, we want to make sure it's all capitals. So we got that. There we go. And again, remember this was centered here. We'll come back and we'll clean that up. Let's go ahead and draw another box down here. Okay. Same thing. Center. 0.240. This is my top view. And I just realized I did that last one wrong, but that's okay. I can show you something there, so that's good. All right. Now, I got a couple of ways I can do things. So first of all, let me go back and change this. I'm going to escape out. And then I'm going to get in here. So say I have a different icon here, and I'm no longer in text mode. Double click on this. And I'm going to front. So very easy to change those things. Okay. Now I want to put side view here. I never want to put it above. I want to put it below. Well, these got to be moved up a little bit, or I got to bring this in. So what I'm going to do is hit escape to make sure I'm escaped out of everything. And I'm going to get this red box. I'm going to drag this up a little bit. And if you notice, the side view moves with it. So I've got that real good. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to show you another way of doing this. So now I can right click, and I can copy this. Okay. And then I can come over here, click, and then right click, and I can paste this. And then I can put this right in here. And it says front. Well, I don't want front, so I'm going to escape out, otherwise it's going to do another one. And that way it has all my settings, so you can do all three of these at the same time. I'm going to drag this over so it's centered. And then I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to right side. So you could actually do one of these, paste it, and then just go in and change the text. So it's centered, it's 0.240. Let's center it right here. So I got center here, left to right, top to bottom. So that's okay. Now I want to drag this thing around. That's the spin mode. I'll put something on an angle. You hit Control Z to undo. Okay. So it's there. I had that blue, dark blue thing right there, and that's what I clicked on by accident. That's your rotate button. All right. And then down here, I want to grab this. See the dark blue over here? You want to avoid that dark blue unless you want to rotate things. Okay. And I'm also going to come in here, and this should be centered. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to double click on this. I missed this centered left to right. I said center left to right and top to bottom, and I completely forgot to hit it, so that's okay. And these are lined up. That's my front, my top, my side. This is my isometric, so I can hit Control V, and that would actually put me in paste mode. And then click, escape to get out of that. Double click on this, and this is isometric. Do not abbreviate. And again, it's centered left to right, top to bottom. And there's my isometric. So I've got my front, top, side, isometric. So we've got our views in place. We've got all of our dimensions in place. Now we want to focus on the title block. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So you can see a couple things. It's got P. Martin in here. You may or may not have a name in there. It has the date that I've created this. Title, size C, scale 1:1, sheet 1 of 1, because we could have multiple sheets showing the different parts of the drawing. I want to change a few things, but we're not going to type in here. So we're going to come over here to your very top where mine says Part 1-1 PEM. So this is your base. Right click. Go to I Properties. Okay. Go to Summary. All right. Title. All caps. Part 1-1. Okay. I'm going to put my actual name here. Okay, and for company, Lexington Technology Center. And then click, oh, you can make other comments, things, manufacturing notes, stuff like that, but we're going to go ahead and click OK. So now I've got Patrick Martin, the date it was done, Lexington Technology Center, Part 1-1, C-size paper, scale 1:1. We'll talk more about these when we get into hand drawing. So for right now, we have this done. And I'm going to show you two more things on this real quickly. First one is, we want to go to File, Save As. Okay, you can see I've already done one of these kind of as a practice. So it's trying to save it as a part. So I'm going to say drawing. part, sorry, I got my all caps on, drawing part 1-1 A, because I've already got a part 1-1 and it's not going to like that. It is going to save it as an IDW file, which is what I want. So let's go ahead and hit save. And I just want you to drawing. You can tell it by the icon. It's going to be different than a part icon, but I like putting drawing and then what part it is that you're doing. So click save. Okay, now you're going to be submitting this to Schoology and you want to submit it as a PDF. So now we're going to go to File, Save As, and then we want to save a copy as, and it's going to give us a specific file. So same thing, drawing part 1-1A, and then you want to drop this menu down and go to PDF. Okay, so make that a PDF. You'll see the PDF at the end here. Click Save. Make sure it's in your Inventor file on your desktop, and save. And now you have this in there where you can send this right directly to Schoology, pull it in from Schoology when you're looking in your files. Second thing on here, this right here is the color I had chosen. This is linked to my part, so now if I go in and make changes to my part, it will make changes to my drawing. I'll show you that in a little bit different video. But for now, if you have any questions, raise your hand. Remember, when you hover on something, it's got a little F1 at the bottom. That'll open up the Inventor Autodesk Help web page, and they've got articles and videos in there that you can almost teach this to you, but I'm here to help you. So raise your hand. I'll come around and work with you individually and help you through any of the rough spots. Watch these videos through all the way to the end. Answer all the questions. If it's in the play, pause it. Make sure you aren't learning just to click buttons, but you're actually learning how to plan out and make drawings so you're ready for the summative. All right, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, and we'll see you on the next drawing.